Back to the talk tonight. Lewis Lent, old Massachusetts handyman and janitor convicted of killing a 12-year-old boy in 1990. Same man who's responsible for killing Sarah Ann Wood of Herkimer County admits to murdering a third child, 16-year-old Jamie Lasher, last seen when he went for a bike ride. These are still pictures of Sarah Ann. Jamie Lasher was going for a bike ride 20 years ago, going to his grandmother's house, actually a little over 20 years ago. He was never found again. He's been on a list of possible Lewis Lent victims for 20 years now, but now the Massachusetts State's officials held a critical news conference this afternoon and said, you know, Jamie Lasher, we talked to Lewis Lent in Massachusetts State Prison, and he finally told us he did abduct him, he killed him, and he put his body in a pond, which they've already started searching for any remains, which they said, you know, keep your fingers crossed, that's going to be tough. The bottom of a lake.
You know, and there were so many things that parents have to deal with anyways. You know, fire dangers, as we just saw in Oswego. You know, is my kid going to get sick? The thought of even having a serial killer be present in your community, it's beyond comprehension.
Yeah, and Lewis Lent is the prototypical child predator, and he is the type of character that put the fear into parents for a generation now since then, because
my generation,
exactly,
my generation
because
of kids and parents.
Well,
who
Sarah Ann Wood would be 32 today if she had if she had lived, and that had not happened, which says a lot about what's been missing in her life and her family's life since that time.
Yeah, he is, and this is, you know, I think about this story today, and I think about what Lewis Lent has left to bargain with, and after this, the only thing he has left is, where is Sarah Ann Wood? He's been cryptic, and then he's stopped talking. I give deep credit to the folks in Massachusetts who didn't give up and went to go talk to him. That had to be sickening for the investigators, to sit down with this guy who doesn't look like we are showing the file video of him anymore, and sit down with this monster and get details about what he did to that boy.
Well, I can recall, first of all, in 1990, Jimmy Bernardo was a young boy who was 12-year-old boy who was found in the woods outside of Ithaca, hanging, and hunters found him, and nobody had any idea how he was killed for years, until '94 when Lent admitted to it, and then Sarah Ann Wood, and I don't remember any story being more widespread and considered and talked about and repeated from one person to another. What happened?
Frightening.
What happened?
And
what
downright
happened?
frightening.
Yeah, she was abducted.
And you look at the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which came out of the Sarah Ann Wood case, which really has changed things when it comes to searching for missing kids across the country. Yes,
they've done great work, and having it start in her name, essentially, really, at least there's a lasting legacy for her family. Yeah. One point I would take issue with, though, Michael, you said the only thing he has left to bargain with is, where was Sarah Ann Wood? We don't know who else he might have abducted or killed. There continues to be a list of a half a dozen, 6, 8, 10 other children who were missing anywhere from the Berkshires of Massachusetts, Saratoga, Central New York, that whole stretch of essentially I-90 from, say, here into Springfield, Mass., where Lewis Lent made that his route. He told investigators how he was on a hunt for that right child. In so many cases, it was while they were riding a bicycle. Sarah Ann Wood's chain broke. That's the only reason he caught up to her. So there may be more still out there that get discovered similar to Jamie today.
And one can only hope that he will continue talking. This is what we need from him now. And maybe the only thing that he can give back to these families now is,
I guess, yeah, you're right. I'll revise what I said. It's all he's good for.
Yeah.
That's all he's good for right now, is whatever else he can provide to families out there who, unlike the Woods family, now unlike the Lasher family, don't know if he's the monster.
Exactly.
So you're right about that.
Although counting him for moral character is definitely a problem, that's for sure. It's just terrible. We're going to continue with the talk tonight in just a moment. Different topic altogether. The big jamboree for the Scouts is on in West Virginia right now. But if you're too heavy, you aren't allowed to come. We'll talk about the latest with the Scouts coming up.